What are you doing?
Practicing ice fishing.
You have problems.
Hey there, Fishing Tooling here. So as you can see, I'm pretty excited for this ice fishing season this year. I wanted to share with you some things that I've got going on to prepare for it. First of all, as you saw a little bit ago, I've purchased this Eskimo 3i ice shanty. So the I stands for insulated, so it is an insulated model, which means it'll be a little bit warmer in addition to blocking the wind. 3 means it's supposed to fit 3 people. It's pretty spacious. I definitely think it's going to be pretty nice for 3 people. Alright, first off we'll start with the rods here. So nothing special here on the rods. I've got a couple different ones here. Berkeley brand, and then I've got a Concept 13 brand here. Both obviously with the spinning reels. I am using Trilene Micro Ice 4-pound line. The ice line stays a little bit more flexible, less brittle in the cold water temperatures, so that's good. And then my last rod I've got here, actually I made myself. So I used an ultralight spinning rod. I cut it down and glued it back into a shorter length here. This one I'll probably use as my dead stick, so that's the one that I'll have a live minnow on. You're allowed to have 2 lines in the water while you're fishing, and you're actually allowed to have 6 tip-ups as well. I'm not going to do any of the tip-ups this year. I live for that strike. So this one here too, I'm using some Power Pro braided line. I'm just using 5-pound test, and then I've got the 4-pound micro ice leader on it. So obviously that'll be a little bit more clear in the water. So the other thing I got going on here is I've got a Garmin Striker 4. So I took a plastic ammo box and I mounted the mount right to the top of the plastic ammo box. This is the same depth finder that I use on my John boat, so all I have to do is switch it over when I'm getting ready to use my ice fishing setup. So I've got that there to set up on the ice. For my transducer, I've got a 3D printed mount. This 3D printed mount is mounted to some 3/4 inch tubing that I pieced together with the transducer mounted at the bottom there. So I just put this down in the hole. And then for power, I've got this portable power pack here. It's got flashlight on it, it's got AC adapter, USB ports, and it's got these 12-volt outputs on it. So I just adapted this plug right to it, so I'll have that. I can charge my phone, I can power the depth finder, whatever I need to do with that. Alright, let's get into some of the lures here. So my most favorite lure I would say is a blade bait. I've been using the Venom Lures Vibramax blade bait. You can see in some of my videos from last year I did pretty well with that. Nice thing about that is the vibration in the water as you lift it up and let it fall down. That vibration definitely attracts the fish over. This particular one here is actually a glowing model, so I can obviously charge it up with an LED light or something and it'll glow under the ice. And then I've got the Fire Tiger, which I use for the Sauger this fall. I'll also use Fire Tiger. And then I've got a couple different other colors as well. The other thing I've got here is a Northern Tackle. These are spoons, so they've got a little bit of a rattle in them with a treble hook on the bottom. Typically what I'll do is I'll put a wax worm on the bottom of that and then just jig it. A little bit smaller one there, medium sized one here, and then a little bit bigger one there. Also I've got some crappie jigs. This is a tube here, and then I've also got just a small shad style jig here, and I'll just jig it up and down. Once again, any of these I can put wax worms on the hooks just to give them a little bit of a scent. And then I've got these micro jigs. These These are micro Mr. Waxy waxworm ice jigs. The other thing I want to note is with the minnows this year, I'm going to use a treble hook for the minnows instead of a single hook. We definitely lost some bigger fish with the single hook. They're just a little bit harder to get hooked and stay hooked. So I got a tip from somebody saying to use the treble hooks with the minnows, so that'll be a good advantage for us as well this year. There's the biggest things to note as far as lures go. I'm going to use the same thing this year for cutting holes. I got an Eskimo 8-inch manual ice auger, so that works just fine. So I'm going to keep doing that. Okay, wish me luck ice fishing this year, and I hope you guys do well as well. Strive to be fish rich.